Welcome. This is Back to the Bins. I'm your host, Mr. B. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back, and if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. This is a comic book collecting channel, and I'm a comic collector. These Sunday videos are intended to showcase the books I picked up this past week at my local comic shop. I've got a pull list, so I'm pretty familiar with what's happening in comics today. I love digging through the dollar bins, and I love digging through the back issue bins. So, if that sounds interesting to you, and you'd like to join me on my journey back to the bins, why don't you take a look over here, and I'll show you what I picked up. Alright, and like I said, these are the books I picked up this past week at my local comic shop, 204 Comics in Winnipeg, and as per usual, we start in alphabetical order, and that takes us to DC Comics, something we're collecting for the milestone issue of 1100. Been collecting that run for a bit now. This is Action Comics number 1090, the Dan Mora Corner Box variant. So I wonder if DC is going to start using corner boxes to any capacity, and maybe these are a bit of a showcase, or it's just something that they're doing with artists and this concept. I'm not too sure, but I really like this. Obviously, Superboy, or a very young Superman, but I do believe there's one very similar to this that will be featuring Superman, so we'll wait for that one, because we're getting that. But this is pretty cool. I like that. Keeping with DC, a lot of DC to start off this particular episode. Here we've got Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice, issue number 3. This is the Chris Stevens variant. I just recently read issue number 1. I enjoyed it, not as much as I enjoyed the previous iteration of Gotham by Gaslight. Came out late last year, early this year, but this was still good. I'm sure it's just warming up. I'm a bit behind, like I said, but very cool cover. Chris Stevens seemed to be somebody that you're seeing more of doing variant covers, and I like that because I like their work, so nice to see this. Lots of DC. So here we have my favorite, easily my second favorite book on the racks these days. This is Birds of Prey, issue number 25, the Annie Wu A cover. We always get the A cover. Really love how they look here. Who's the mystery woman in the middle? Not too sure, but I really have been enjoying the story, and I have always been enjoying this title. A great title if you're interested in some fun action adventure. This is kind of it, I think. I've really enjoyed it. But, you know, where there is one Birds of Prey cover, there is another. Thought this was fantastic. This is Birds of Prey number 25, the Leonardo Romero variant, and I love the whole cast of Birds of Prey here. Romero was originally doing the artwork for this comic, but has moved on, and maybe this is a sign of things to come. I'd love to see him do some interiors again. Absolutely love his work. Look at Barda. She looks fantastic, as is the rest of the team, but you know, I'm a sucker for Big Barda, and she looks just great with the team. You can see just how big Barda actually is. Very cool. Over to Marvel, and look at this beauty. Here we have, folks, a contender for cover of the year all day long. This is Captain America number 3, the Chip Zdarsky variant. Of course, he's writing the story. Also doing some variant covers for it as well, and I really like this one. Great pop. Now, I think you can get the Virgin variant of this as well. It's ratioed, but what's the point? You've got Dr. Doom on the cover, and without the Captain America trade dress, you might not know exactly what this comic book is, and I think it just adds a depth. You know who Dr. Doom is coming after now, and I love that a lot. Very cool. And, of course, there's another one. Here we have Captain America issue number 3, the Michael Cho variant. Love Michael Cho's work. Try to get it wherever I can, and I just love his depiction. Similar in style to me, like a Leonardo Romero or a Chris Samney. There's a certain nostalgic feel to their artwork, and I really resonate with that, and I love this. I love, again, Doom in the background. Super cool. And over to the independent section of your comic shop. Here we have Cul De Sac, issue number 2. This is the Jonathan Wayshak A cover. This is a contender for cover of the year. I have yet to read issue 1, which also had a fantastic cover. This is just grotesque and amazing all at once. I really love this. Beautiful stuff. Looking forward to reading it. I hope it's as good as the covers. But yes, Don't you love that? Oh, right on. Something I haven't said for a while. Back over to the dollar bins. Here we have Doom Patrol, issue number 18 from December of 1988. This is the Graham Nolan cover. I'm collecting this run. I've read a couple of issues, but until I can get the complete run, I am not reading it. But I love this team. I was interested in Doom Patrol after seeing the television show. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to Doom Patrol appreciation. But I'm also late to the game when it comes to DC properties. So here I am, and I'm waiting. We're getting closer to being able to have like the first 30 issues that I could read. I'll probably do that if I can get that in sequence. That would be great. But very happy to find something in the dollar bins that I could take home. Back over to Marvel. Here we've got, look at that, Fantastic Four, issue number 9. This is the 2025 facsimile, of course. This was originally on the shelves in September of 1962. We got Stan Lee writing, Jack Kirby pencils in cover. We got Namor on the cover as well. I love that. The end of the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four evicted from building. What are they going to do? Yikes. In this economy? Back over to the back issue bins, although we haven't been there yet, but here we are. I just was perusing, I saw this, really loved the cover, so I went for it. This is Fantastic Four, number 362 from January of 1992. We got a Paul Ryan cover. This part of the run I'm collecting of Fantastic Four, issues number 200 to 400. So here we've got Spider-Man on the cover. I can't say no to that. Kind of pals, but kind of enemies in their own way, or adversaries at least, but I think probably more so allies nowadays. But love seeing Johnny Storm and Spider-Man on the cover together. Of course, Reed Richards in the thing down there, so is Sue Storm. And I guess this gentleman here must be the Wild Blood. I'm not entirely sure, but very cool. Oh, I also love the fact that we've got this sort of old school. Marvel did that for maybe like a Daredevil issue as well as a Spider-Man issue, where they did sort of a real image of a New York City skyline or cityscape, and that's kind of the way this looks now too. So a bit of a tribute to those older Silver Age comics that I really enjoy. Back over to DC, something we're collecting just for the covers. Haven't decided whether or not I'm going to read this, but this is a limited series. Here we have Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over, issue number 6, the Todd Knock variant. Been collecting Todd Knock variants on the Marvel side of things, so to see him doing something for DC, I thought, why not? Might as well. Love the colors here. Pretty fun. And it's just, a fun variant. Keeping with DC, again, fun variant. Not a title I'm collecting whatsoever. But here we have Green Lantern Corps, issue number 8. I got it because this is a Leonardo Romero Hispanic Heritage Month Jessica Cruz variant. I got this one because I thought this was the best of the Leonardo Romero variant covers for Hispanic Heritage Month. There was 1-2 of Bane that I missed. I might get that if I can find it somewhere online, maybe even. But really love this whole cosmic look. Love the illustration. He's one of my favorite artists working today. So just nice to add this as a cover collector. Why not? Over back to the independent section of your local comic shop. Here we've got something grotesque and amazing. This is Hello Darkness, issue number 14. The Jonathan Wayshak Virgin variant. Yeah, we saw Wayshak's work on Cul De Sac, and here he is on Hello Darkness. I love this title, a fun horror anthology, and this cover is amazing. I would have normally just got one cover of this, but I could not say no to this, because it's awesome. Contender for cover of the year. But I also couldn't say no to this one because this is Hello Darkness, number 14, the Rebecca Puebla Boom 20th anniversary variant. She is also one of my favorite artists working today. I love collecting her work. There were some times where she was doing like a full run of Vampirella. She also did a bunch of covers for Maleficent that came out last year. And then she kind of disappeared, so it was nice to see her back on a title, and I just couldn't say no. I love this anyway. Super cool. Nice to have it. Back over to Marvel. Couldn't say no to this either. Doom hype is real. Yeah, so I guess for the first time in a long time, we can say we've got some Doom Patrol book here, folks. This is One World Under Doom, issue number 7, the James Kerrigan Retro Halloween Mask variant. Yes, fall is really around the corner, and I love that they're doing these Halloween masks. Now, whether or not you're going to cut this out and slap it on your face and go out trick-or-treating, that's on you, but I love this idea. I would love to see somebody do sort of an MF Doom version of this as well, so if anybody knows somebody, let them know about this. I think that would look super cool. And I'd love to see just a virgin variant of this particular cover as well, because Doom just looks great. And back over to the dollar bins. I couldn't say no because I liked this cover and I liked what it was trying to tell me. This is Thor, issue number 433 from April of 1991. We got a Ron Frenz cover. And I love that we've got the first issue of a stunning new epic, The Mighty Thor, but this is issue number 433. So I really think what I like about this, well, I don't think what I like about this, I know what I like about this. It's that 90s gimmick. It's trying to pull off this sort of number one issue, yet it's still not. It's part of that run. It's 433, but you know, everybody was hyped about number one, so anything that was beginning, that was new, that was fresh, it seemed to just resonate and want to be picked up by people who thought, this is the moment where I'm going to become a millionaire in the future. So I love the speculation that's probably linked to this book, and the reason why it's sort of touted as the first issue of a stunning new epic. It might be true, but they're trying to rein you in using that idea, and I just love that about that. Plus, it's a title that I'm really just slowly chipping away at. I'm not really focused on it, but when I find them in the dollar bins, I mean, why not, right? And back over to Marvel. I thought this was very cool. Haven't read number 1 yet, but here we have Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 4. This is the Michael Walsh variant. Just love the colors involved. I love the idea. I guess Spider-Man here is carrying Magic's sword. Or does he have one of his own? I'm not too sure, but I just really like this. Kind of had a wintry feel to it as well, and I know we're far from it, but, you know, eventually. We are in the Burr months. September, October, November, December. Get it? Huh. And back over to the independent section of your local comic shop. Here we have Vampirella issue number 5, the Joseph Michael Lisner variant. I think this is beautiful. I've really liked the way this story picked up. I think I'm at issue number 2 now, maybe issue number 3, a little bit behind. And I like it, and I have loved these covers, some really great variant covers for this title, and that's also important. So kind of killing two birds with one stone, if you will. Well, that's everything, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And how about we get back to the real world, shall we? Well, it's a great stack of books. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. And if you did, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe? It really helps to build the channel, and I'd love to develop a community of people who just really love comics. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you next week. And until then, remember, comics are good.